And I think you used to be the chief executive officer of RBS here in India.
That's right.
So you're one of these people I was talking about. You are someone who is giving up business for a career in politics.
That's right.
Why?
Let's call it public service, and I think there's an important distinction there. The reason young is all around you. This is a great country with wonderful entrepreneurial people who succeed everywhere in the world. Unfortunately, we seem not to be succeeding in our own country. And I think it's time for us to regain that space, to bring back politics of ideals and integrity and intellect. And that's the reason why.
What is the AAP's idea other than stamping out corruption? Does it stand for anything more than that? Noble though that is, but that is not a governing agenda.
Well, absolutely, corruption and anti-corruption is the core of our agenda, because bear in mind, Jon, it's like we have lost every year about 16% of our GDP, or about £4 billion equivalent, is lost every year due to corruption. So it's very central to what we talk about. But more than corruption is the fact that we want India to be a good place to invest in for Indians and for everyone else. We want to unleash the entrepreneurial potential of India. We also want to focus on good governance. And good governance not as an apple pie and motherhood statement, but simple things. Good healthcare, good education, safety, law and order, roads, electricity, water. The people of India are not asking for too much. They're asking for the basics. And that is something that we absolutely stand for.
You may well be a third-party force in this election. There are other regional parties as well. If it comes to a coalition, and you have to do a coalition with Congress or the BJP, do you care?
Let me be very clear. We are not a third force. We are the first force. We are the citizens' force in this country. For a long time, the people in this country have had a choice between a B team and a C team. Now they have the choice of an A team. But to answer your question, we are not going to support either the Congress or the BJP, and we're not going to seek support from either of them. But what we will do is we will stand, if we are not in power, if we are the opposition, we will be a constructive opposition, and we have a very clear manifesto. So if called on to vote, we will vote on issues which are good for the country as described in our manifesto.
But your leader, he got elected into Delhi, and then what happened? He kind of disappeared.
Well, actually he hasn't disappeared. He's going to give Mr. Modi a real run for his money in Benares, and I hope you're going to cover that
and then
that election.
Same constituency.
Absolutely, he's standing there, so you know he's not shy of taking on a big challenge, and that's in our view he actually stands a very, very good chance of beating Mr. Modi. But to be very specific, we found, and as I've just said, to us, to the Aam Aadmi Party, corruption, fighting corruption is very, very core to our agenda. And when it became clear to Arvind that the BJP and the Congress were ganging up to prevent the tabling of the Jan Lokpal bill, which is very, very high on our agenda, he said, look, I haven't come here to grab the position of the Chief Minister's chair. I've come here to change the system. So he stepped down on principle. We will fight again, and we will win in Delhi.
Okay, well, you've made your prediction. We'll come back and see how you're doing. Meera Sanyal, thank you very much indeed for being with us here on Global. Look more still to come from us here in Mumbai. But Lucy, now back to you in the studio in London.